Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? This time, we're exploring Amy Tan's Backyard Bird Chronicles.
Oh, yeah, I've been looking forward to this one.
You know Tan for her novels like The Joy Luck Club, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, this time, she takes us on a journey into the world of birds, right in her own backyard.
Fascinating. It's amazing how someone so accomplished in fiction can be captivated by bird watching. It really speaks to the power of observation, finding the extraordinary in everyday life.
Absolutely. And she really dives in head first, creating this elaborate bird haven in her backyard, complete with feeders, special foods, and even these custom cages to outsmart the squirrels.
Yeah, her dedication is amazing, especially considering this whole birdwatching thing began for her later in life.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she was in her 60s when she took up drawing and nature journaling, and that sparked this whole fascination with birds.
Wow, it's never too late to discover a new passion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what hidden interests we all have just waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. Yeah. But what I find really intriguing is how Tan's background as a novelist shapes her observations. It's like she approaches birds with the same kind of curiosity and empathy she brings to her characters.
That's such a great point. She talks about spending hours on a single bird portrait, trying to be the bird, to truly understand its essence. It's like she's using her art to bridge the gap between observer and observed.
Yes. And there's this one story about her drawing a fledgling dark-eyed junco that really exemplifies this. This tiny bird, perched precariously on her bird bath, becomes this symbol of vulnerability for her, this reminder of the daily struggle for survival these creatures face.
Yeah, and that vulnerability resonates with her deeply. She sees parallels between the fledgling's fragility and the challenges we all face, this constant need to adapt and persevere in life.
It's incredible how such a simple act of observation can lead to such profound connections, isn't it?
Absolutely. But her observations go beyond individual birds. She starts noticing patterns, connections, and even some pretty surprising bird behaviors that challenge her assumptions about nature.
Like her battles with the scrub jay. I mean, that's pure entertainment right there.
Oh, tell me about it. This mischievous bird becomes her nemesis, constantly outsmarting her attempts to create squirrel-proof feeders.
Right. It's this hilarious back and forth that really reveals the intelligence and adaptability of these creatures.
Oh, for sure. I mean, she tries everything. Hot pepper suet, special seeds, these elaborate cages. But the scrub jay always finds a way.
It's almost like the scrub jay is teaching her a lesson about letting go of control, about embracing the unexpected twists and turns of life.
Such a great perspective. It's not just about birds, it's about how we approach life's challenges in general.
Exactly. But speaking of challenges, Tan observed one sparrow who faced a particularly difficult one.
You're talking about the golden crown sparrow who lost a leg, right? That story really stayed with me.
It did with me too. Tan becomes so fixated on this bird, worried about its survival, especially with migration approaching.
It's as if she sees a reflection of her own anxieties and fears in this sparrow's struggle. It really makes you wonder how birds adapt to such adversity, what kind of inner strength they possess.
Absolutely. And, golden crown sparrows are known for these incredible migrations, sometimes covering thousands of miles.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and to think that little sparrow might have been making that epic journey with only one leg.
It's a testament to their determination, isn't it?
It really is. But her observations aren't limited to her backyard. She also ventures out on these birding excursions, which open up a whole new world of avian diversity and complexity.
Oh, that sounds exciting. What kind of things does she encounter?
Well, one trip leads her to a rather unsettling discovery, actually. She finds a dead pine siskin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she realizes it was a victim of salmonellosis, a highly contagious bird disease. It's a sobering reminder of the fragility of life, even in a setting that appears idyllic.
It is a stark reminder, and it raises questions about the role of bird feeders in potentially spreading disease.
Right. It's a dilemma that many bird enthusiasts face. Wanting to help these creatures, but also acknowledging the potential risks involved.
Yeah. It's a delicate balance, for sure.
But amidst these moments of tension, there are also these bursts of pure delight in her observations. Like when a family of quail takes over her backyard.
Oh, the quail! They're like a comic relief act, bringing this delightful chaos to her observation.
They really are. Tan describes their antics so vividly, you can practically hear them chirping and scurrying about with their bobbing heads and feathery plumes.
And remember the windowsill wars. It's like they're competing for the best seats in the house, vying for prime feeding spot.
It's those little touches of humor that make her observations so engaging, so relatable. It's like she's saying, hey, even in the midst of life's challenges, there's still room for laughter and amusement.
Absolutely, but it's not just the visual spectacle that captivates her. She becomes fascinated by the world of bird songs, too.
Oh, yeah, she tries to decipher their different calls and songs, even attempts to imitate them with some pretty hilarious results.
I can imagine.
It shows just how deeply she's connecting with these creatures, going beyond just watching them to trying to understand their language, their communication.
It's a reminder that there's this whole world of sensory experience beyond what we typically notice.
Exactly. And as her observations deepen, she begins to see her backyard as a microcosm of this larger ecological system.
In what way?
Well, the arrival of a western bluebird, a species not typically found in her area, makes her realize that even a small backyard can be connected to these vast migratory patterns.
Wow, that's a powerful realization.
It is. It challenges the idea that nature is something out there, separate from our lives.
Right, it shows how interconnected we all are.
Exactly. And her observations also highlight the impact of human actions on the natural world. She reflects on the wildfires that ravaged California, noting how new bird species arrived, driven from their habitats by the smoke and flames.
It's a stark reminder that our choices have consequences, even for the smallest creatures.
It is. But even in the face of these challenges, nature finds a way to persist, to adapt, to reclaim its space.
And that's a powerful message of hope, isn't it? That even in the face of adversity, life finds a way.
It really is. And speaking of resilience, one of the most captivating parts of the book is Can's encounter with great horned owls. These majestic creatures become a symbol of the wildness that still exists, even in urban areas.
Oh, I love great horned owls. They're so impressive.
Tan's descriptions of them are just mesmerizing. Their silent flight, their piercing gaze, their haunting calls. It's like a scene from a nature documentary unfolding right in her backyard.
And it's happening right in her backyard. That's incredible.
I know. It's a reminder that we're not as removed from the wild as we might think. Even in our concrete jungles, nature finds a way to assert its presence.
It's a powerful message for sure. And Tan's encounters with these owls go beyond simple observation. They become a source of inspiration for her, a reminder of the mystery and wonder that still exists in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's as if these owls are awakening something within her, a sense of awe and reverence for the natural world.
It sounds like her journey with these birds has been truly transformative.
It really has. And, as Tan's journey continues, she encounters both profound loss and unexpected joy, highlighting the full spectrum of experience that nature offers.
It sounds like a truly profound journey of observation and reflection. I'm eager to hear more about these experiences in the next part of our deep dive. It's really interesting how, as we go deeper into Tan's backyard bird chronicles, her observations become more and more personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It's like her backyard isn't just a place to watch birds. It's like this mirror reflecting her own thoughts and feelings.
Exactly. Take
Yeah.
the one-legged golden-crowned sparrow, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Her concern for its survival goes way beyond just simple curiosity, you know? It's like this deep reflection on vulnerability and how we all cope with life's challenges.
Right. And she really gets anxious about whether the sparrow can migrate okay. Which, by the way, is incredible when you think about it. Golden-crowned sparrows fly thousands of miles.
Thousands. Wow.
Yeah, they often fly at night, navigating by the stars.
That's amazing. And this little sparrow might have been making that journey with only one leg.
I know, it's pretty mind-blowing, right? Makes you realize we underestimate these creatures.
For sure. And speaking of resilience, Tan also talks about a cat that comes into her yard.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit of a scary reminder that danger can lurk anywhere, even in a place that seems safe.
Oh, yeah, I remember that part. The cat attacks a spotted towhee, leaving it with a badly injured leg.
Right. And Tan is just beside herself with worry, you know?
Oh, I was on the edge of my seat reading that.
Yeah, it's a tense moment. It really highlights that predator-prey thing that's always present in nature.
It makes you think about our role in all this, Like, we try to create these safe havens for birds, but can we truly protect them from the wild?
That's a good question. It's complicated, right?
Yeah. And Tan doesn't really give us easy answers, but she does get us thinking about the balance of nature and how we're all connected.
Definitely. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom, right? What about this quail?
Oh, the quail. Those little guys are a riot. They bring this sense of fun and chaos to the backyard.
I love how she describes them like you can practically see them strutting around with their bobbing heads and feathers.
And remember the windowsill wars?
Haha, yeah. They're like battling it out for the best feeding spots.
Right. It's those little moments of humor that make her observations so relatable. It's like even with all the challenges of life and nature, there's still room for laughter and joy.
I love that. And it's not just the birds, Luxury. She's really fascinated by their songs, too.
Oh yeah, she spends a lot of time trying to understand their different calls and songs. She even tries to imitate them.
Does she?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It shows how much she's trying to connect with them on a deeper level.
That's cool. Like she's going beyond just watching to actually trying to understand their language.
Right. It makes you realize there's so much more going on around us than we realize, especially if we just take the time to listen.
Yeah, good point. And then her observations start to shift. Like she starts to see her backyard as part of something much bigger.
Oh yeah. How so?
Well, like when a western bluebird shows up, they're not usually found in your area, and it makes her realize that even a tiny backyard can be connected to these huge migratory patterns.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it challenges that whole idea that nature's out there somewhere, separate from us.
It's all connected.
Exactly. But then she also talks about the wildfires in California.
Oh, right, and how new birds started showing up, driven from their homes by the fires.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful reminder that what we do has a ripple effect, even on the birds.
It's a little scary, actually. But the amazing thing is, nature always seems to find a way to recover and adapt.
That's true. Oh, and we can't forget those great horned owls.
They were incredible. Those owls really embody the wildness that still exists, even in places like her backyard.
I can just picture it, those silent wings, those intense eyes.
I know, it's like a scene straight out of a wildlife documentary.
Totally. And it happened right there in her backyard.
It's mind-blowing. Like, even in cities surrounded by concrete, we're still connected to the wild.
Exactly. And for Tan, the owls become more than just something to watch. They really inspire her. They remind her of the mystery and wonder that's still out there.
Yeah, it's like they awaken something within her, this sense of awe for nature.
Totally. And as her journey goes on, she experiences both loss and joy, showing us the full range of emotions that nature can evoke.
Definitely. We'll dive into those experiences in the final part of our deep dive, exploring the deeper lessons Tan learns from her years of observation.
As we wrap up our look at Backyard Bird Chronicles, it strikes me how much deeper Tan's observations are than just bird identification.
Oh, absolutely. It's like she's weaving in her own thoughts and feelings, and even some big philosophical ideas.
Exactly. Like when that hermit thrush hits her window.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that happens a lot, but for her, it's this huge emotional experience, filled with grief and even guilt.
Right, and she describes the bird with so much detail, its feathers and everything, and you can really feel her sadness.
It's like a reminder that life's fragile, even in places we think are safe.
Yeah, and what's amazing is how she turns this sad event into something positive.
Oh, right. She donates the bird to science.
Exactly, to the California Academy of Sciences. So even in death, the bird can contribute to research.
It's such a beautiful way to honor the bird's life, like finding meaning in the midst of loss.
I love that. And it shows how important scientific study is to understand and protect nature.
Absolutely. And speaking of finding meaning, there's that story about those 3 unusual birds that appear right after her friend Essa passes away.
Oh, yeah. The timing is just too perfect to be random. She sees it as a kind of visitation.
Right. It's like she finds comfort and connection in the seemingly random event.
It's like we all have this need to find patterns and meaning, especially when we're grieving.
And nature can be so comforting, even in those tough times.
Like those birds become these messengers of something we don't fully grasp.
Something beyond our understanding. And then there's that one-legged sparrow and how much Tan worries about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she's reflecting on resilience, on how these creatures adapt and overcome huge obstacles.
What can we learn from them, right?
Right. They don't focus on what they've lost. They just keep going, make the most of what they have. And remember, golden-crowned sparrows migrate thousands of miles.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And imagine that little guy doing that with one leg. It's just incredible.
The tenacity of life is pretty amazing.
Yeah. And as Tan's birdwatching journey ends, she thinks about all she's learned, not just about birds, but about herself.
Like the birds have been her teachers.
Exactly. They've taught her patience, resilience, and to appreciate the moment.
And that's what makes Backyard Bird Chronicles so special, right?
Totally. It's not just a book about birds. It's about finding wonder and meaning in the everyday world, even in our own backyards.
I think we can all learn from that. Whether you're a serious birder or just starting out, it's about looking closer, listening more, and appreciating the beauty that's all around us.
Exactly. So next time you're outside, take a moment to pause, look around, listen. You never know what you'll discover.
That's such great advice. And that wraps up our deep dive into Amy Tan's Backyard Bird Chronicles. We hope you've enjoyed it.